Why the Amazing World of Gumball transcends animation. There aren't many cartoons on the market today that offer as large of a variety of animation and design elements as the Amazing World of Gumball does. Except maybe Love, Death, and Robots, but truly those two shows cannot be any more different. That's a talk for another day. Today we are diving into the wonderfully wacky world of Elmore, as you look at just how unique and special of a cartoon Gumball is. The Amazing World of Gumball debuted all the way back in 2011 and sits at 240 episodes. Both of those numbers were very shocking to me. I thought for sure it came out more recently and didn't have nearly as many episodes, but here we are. Those 240 episodes are squished into 6 seasons, and each episode focuses in on our Watterson family and is very slice of life in nature. Now, usually I tend to lean more in on story-driven cartoons, as I think they have a bit more to offer with an overarching narrative, but some animated comedic sitcoms like Gumball can really work, especially when they are funny and witty, have unique design attached to them, and are easily rewatchable. And you guessed it, The Amazing World of Gumball delivers on all 3 of those departments. I honestly think that Gumball might just have some of the most witty and clever writing for any show that I've ever seen. I am always so pleasantly surprised at the writing the show puts into the story of the short-form episodes, as well as the dialogue that the large range of characters have. There's never a dull moment when you turn on the show, but the writing and comedy never seem to be forced or too childish either. What's really best about this writing is just how memorable and rewatchable it makes the show. Like, I don't make it a habit of watching this show super often, and yet I can just spew off some of my favorite episode concepts they've used without any research. They've just stuck themselves into my brain. Like the Countdown episode, the Gumball and Penny First Kiss episode, the whole remote gag episodes, and you can't forget about the Darwins making his way back to Gumball while singing a bop of a song. The show just has this ability to stick with you long past a watch. It's kind of freaky, but that's probably just props to the Gumball writers and producers. They make the show one that lasts in your brain. It's like if TV shows were turned into sticks of gum, Gumball would have a long-lasting gum flavor. And now to mention the show's most talked about and predominant feature, and it's really what this video is meant to highlight most, is the incredibly fun and unique animation and designs of our characters and world. You see, most animated shows have a design that they stick to, whether it be 3D or 2D animated, and they run with it, which makes sense. Sticking to one style keeps your show clean, serialized, and easy to follow. Gumball, however, just flush that narrative down the toilet. You watch a single episode of the show, and you'll find that classic Cartoon Network 2D animation, but you'll also find wild 3D modeled characters, stop motion, live action bits and bobs. It's all switched up styles out the wazoo. Here's a brief montage of all the styles Gumball has displayed over the years. Yeah, name another show that is this wild stylistically. You can't. Well, I guess Community sorta? Shout out to that show. But switching up styles works a bit better here, as the whole vibe and build of the Amazing World of Gumball allows for very shocking visuals to be relatively seamless. With all those unique visuals combined with the very well written episodes, it's no surprise that people love the show and won't take their eyes off of it. Which goes into my final little point here, that this might be the most rewatchable animated show, not named Rick and Morty at least. With the episodic nature of the show, and the fact that each episode is around 11 minutes long, sitting down and knocking back 4 or 5 episodes of the show is so easy, especially since they're all so well written, have great music in them all the time, don't forget that, and like I mentioned before, have some of the most wackadoodle and interesting animation of any cartoon out today. Go treat yourself to some Amazing World of Gumball. You're here on YouTube right now, I'm sure you got nothing else to do. Anyways, all of this is just why the Amazing World of Gumball transcends animation.